All right, we had a big move in energy stocks today, and this is the biggest move we've seen since the beginning of the sell-off. Now, this is a huge gain. Should we realize it, take any gains now, and take our foot off the gas for a little bit? My advice, my opinion, my idea here, not financial advice, is no. I'm not doing that. I believe these stocks are going to hit new 52-week highs, and the sell-off that has occurred should never have occurred. Obviously, we've experienced a lot of pain. I've been very bullish energy stocks since December of last year. Exxon has been one of my biggest positions, if not my biggest position, since that period of time. Now, I've only added to these energy stocks since then, and added aggressively down here because, as I said, it never should have happened. What caused this sell-off? Well, it was the Delta fears. As soon as we started seeing that Delta pickup in the UK and then later in the United States when it really started to accelerate downwards, we saw energy stocks accelerate downwards. However, in hindsight, which is 2020, we can see that Delta has had virtually no impact on the energy market. The price per barrel is actually higher than it was when energy stocks peaked. And believe it or not, we are at record energy demand. I know it sounds crazy. How can that be possible? It just kind of feels like we've got COVID things going on. We got vaccine mandates. We've got blocked international travel. How could it be possible that energy demand is at record levels? Well, for one, more people are driving to work. More people have moved to the suburbs. This is a structural event that I don't think is going to reverse and go the other way. I think people are now more in the suburbs and more likely to continue using cars. Another thing, and using their own cars, not in cities, using public transit, more and higher energy consumption in larger homes, with more amenities and just overall larger energy consumption, regardless of whether or not they have a gasoline, ICE car, or an EV. Yes, EVs are more energy efficient, but let's not forget, they still use fossil fuels. And yes, hypothetically, there is a world in which all power is renewable, solar and wind. And let's just put this out there and defeat the long-term energy case that has suppressed the multiples over the last 10 years. That these energy companies are going to go away in a renewable future. They are not. They are more than prepared for that, but they are actually taking a different approach than wind and solar. There are three non-fossil fuel energy types: wind, solar, and nuclear. However, only one of those fossil fuel types, or one of those renewable, zero carbon fuel types is reliable. If you remember, I live in Texas now. The winter Texas freeze, I was here for that. I didn't have energy for several days. Texas is the energy capital of the world. How is it possible that happens? It's possible that it happens when 25% of your electrical grid is wind and solar, which when it's freezing and cloudy produces no electricity. So unreliable. You are at the whims of weather. And I love these technologies. They will exist forever into the future, and they're not going away. But will they be our primary source of energy? They can't be. They are not consistent enough. They don't produce a constant stream of predictable electricity. So, no, not wind and solar. That means other electricities or energy sources are open. Nuclear is a great one. The Democrats don't want to touch it though, and they're in power. They want to keep perpetuating, global warming, climate change, etc. So we'll see what happens. Energy companies are making carbon neutral biofuels of various types. Elon doesn't like these. There are drawdowns. I'm just gonna, be transparent with you. They do require electricity to make, but some of them are made in farms. Some of them are made in farms. Global Clean Energy Holdings. If you want an interesting company that has done a deal with Exxon for 5 million barrels of renewable diesel fuel from farms, GCEH. It's off the market. I have a huge position in that. So these companies are very well prepared for the future. We can't think that they're going to go away in 5-10 years. It's not the case. However, they are priced as if they only have 5 or 10 years left of cash flow, and they simply don't. They are here to stay. And I believe fossil fuels are actually here to stay a little longer than 5 or 10 years. As I said, nuclear plant, that's kind of the only real alternative. Wind and solar. Love them. When I get a house, I'll have solar panels on it. However, they are, in my opinion, I might be proved wrong on this, they are supplemental forms of energy. You can have the base, you can have the consistent stream, and you can have the wind and solar as extra. So, for this reason, energy companies have elected, they could very easily make solar panels. They've got so much money. They're investing so much money in renewables. They could single-handedly, any single one of them, any single one of the majors could have chosen, instead of investing in renewable biofuels, to become the best solar and wind companies in the world. They chose not to do that for the unreliable versus reliable energy reason I just described to you. So we really got to when we look at things objectively, we really got to take this they're going away case out of our heads, because they're not going away. They're gonna look. They're gonna look into the future. There will be companies that die. That's the nature of change. Change is hitting their way, and it's gonna be survival of the fittest. But the ones that survive will do very well, and they will have a new world in which they can thrive and have successfully adapted into. In my opinion, those are companies like Exxon and Schlumberger. Schlumberger is expecting to go completely carbon neutral by 2050. That sounds like a pretty good timeline. 30 years or so will be off of fossil fuels. They are going to be 100% off of fossil fuels by then. And guess what? Schlumberger's CEO just said he expects cash flow and margins to materially improve in the near and long term. That's great to hear. The price per barrel is very high. It's likely to continue to go up. And it's at the same level or higher. It's actually higher than when Schlumberger peaked earlier this year. Yet the stock is down about $7. That's a lot. That's 25% just to get to the current price per barrel. But if you're looking at the situation, the Biden administration, it looks like price per barrel is going to go up and continue to rise. So we should expect that stock to continue to rise. I don't know how much it's going to continue to rise. I'm going to keep buying. Or I'm not going to keep buying. I've got so freaking much. I'm going to keep holding. I'm not selling anything significant. I might, sell here and there. If I need cash to pay rent, I'll sell my closest term option. Stuff like that. But I'm not going to do any serious selling until new 52-week highs. And then, as we push beyond that, bears make money, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Not going to be a pig in this trade, but I'm a bull, and I'm riding it to new 52-week highs. So that's my stance here. The stocks are very well priced. They are mispriced. I think this is the first of many days. And on to new 52-week highs for energy. FANG, Apple. I had an Apple short going into this week. Covered Monday on the panic. Figured the buyback and the blue chip status meant that I couldn't fight it forever, right? Can't fight the Fed, can't fight Apple. So close that position, but I don't expect much out of these stocks. I don't expect a huge move out of FANG. They make very important products. Again, not disputing the products, but they're very expensive, and more expensive, miss me with that shit. Okay, if they get too expensive, I will short again. But for now, as I said, bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Right now we're bulls in energy. Still got a whole lot of bull to go. We are not in pig territory. No need to sell after a move like today. We'll see what happens. And until next time, peace out.